Assalamu alaikum. Tell me, why does your heart feel heavy at night, even when nobody knows your pain? Some people are not tired physically, they are tired spiritually, and sometimes the thing draining your rizq is not poverty, it is fear. Tonight, you may discover why Sheikh Abdul Qadir Gilani never looked at Surah Al-Waqiah the way ordinary people did, and what he realized changed hearts forever. There are people smiling all day, but breaking quietly after Isha. Some are exhausted from bills, some from overthinking, and some from carrying pain nobody understands. They still pray, still say Alhamdulillah, but deep inside, they feel lost. And maybe that is why Allah guided you to this video tonight, because Surah Al-Waqiah was never only about wealth. It was always about healing the heart before changing the life. And then there was one night people would speak about for generations. The city had fallen silent, most doors were closed, most hearts were asleep. But Sheikh Abdul Qadir Gilani was awake, not searching for fame, not searching for wealth. He was searching for something far more dangerous: complete trust in Allah. It is said that the awliya of Allah did not only recite the Quran, they allowed the Quran to enter their hearts. That night, as Surah Al-Waqiah was being recited slowly in the darkness, something shook him deeply. Not the verses about wealth, not the promises of rizq, but the verses reminding mankind that this dunya can collapse in a single moment. And suddenly, he understood something most people never do. People fear poverty more than they fear distance from Allah. That was the hidden disease. The real secret of Surah Al-Waqiah was never just money. It was freedom from fear. Because the heart that truly trusts Allah becomes richer than kings. And perhaps tonight, Allah wanted you to hear that too. Most people open Surah Al-Waqiah hoping for more money, but very few open it searching for a stronger heart. And that changes everything, because the real secret of Surah Al-Waqiah is not hidden in gold. It is hidden in certainty, yaqeen. The kind of certainty that survives even when the wallet is empty, when life feels delayed, when du'as seem unanswered, and when the future terrifies you at night. This surah was never meant to make people obsessed with dunya. It was meant to free them from becoming slaves to it. Think about it. Why are so many hearts restless today? Why do people panic so quickly? Why does fear enter the chest the moment rizq becomes uncertain? Because people trust numbers more than they trust Allah. And that is the spiritual wound Surah Al-Waqiah exposes. It reminds the soul that Allah alone controls provision, not people, not jobs, not status, not the world. Sheikh Abdul Qadir Gilani understood something powerful. Sometimes Allah delays rizq because the heart is attached to the gift more than the giver. And sometimes poverty is not in the pocket. It is inside the soul. A person can own everything and still feel empty. But the one who truly knows Allah sleeps with peace, even during hardship. That is why Surah Al-Waqiah changes people differently. Some only recite it with their tongues, but others, they recite it until fear leaves the heart. And once fear leaves the heart, the doors of peace begin to open. Maybe that is the rizq your soul has really been searching for all along. Maybe you think this video is just another reminder. But what if Allah brought you here for a reason? What if your soul has been asking for help silently? Because there are signs, strange signs, signs that the heart is no longer satisfied with this dunya the way it used to be. Maybe lately, You have been overthinking everything. Even small problems feel heavy. Even at night, your mind refuses to rest. You smile in front of people, but inside, something feels missing, and you cannot explain it. Sometimes you scroll endlessly on your phone, not because you enjoy it, but because you are trying to escape your own thoughts. Sometimes after Salah, instead of peace, you still feel emptiness, and that scares you. You make dua, but part of your heart quietly whispers, "Will things ever change for me?" Listen carefully. That feeling does not always mean Allah is far from you. Sometimes it means Allah is pulling you away from dunya before pulling you closer to Him. Some souls are being awakened through hardship. That is why certain nights feel heavier than others. That is why some people suddenly cry during Quran recitation without understanding why. And maybe that is why Surah Al-Waqiah feels different to you tonight. Because this surah does not only speak about the future of mankind, it speaks to the frightened parts of the human heart, the part terrified of loss, the part tired of uncertainty, the part secretly begging Allah for relief. And perhaps this message is for you if your heart has been exhausted from carrying fear alone. If you're tired of pretending to be strong, if your soul feels distant from peace, if you're silently fighting battles nobody sees, then maybe Allah wanted this reminder to reach you before sleep tonight. Not to shame you, but to remind you. You are never carrying your burdens alone. So before this video continues, type these words in the comments, "Ya Allah, I trust you." Because sometimes healing begins the moment the heart finally surrenders. Now listen carefully, because this is not just advice. This is a practice that has quietly changed hearts for centuries. And it begins after the world goes silent, after Isha, when everything slows down and the noise of life finally disappears. That is the moment your heart is the most honest. No pretending, no audience, no pressure to act strong, just you and Allah. Sheikh Abdul Qadir Gilani and the people of deep spirituality understood something very powerful. The night is not just for sleep, it is for repair. So tonight, try this. First, put your phone away, not just beside you, away from you, because your heart cannot hear subtle mercy while the world is still talking in your hand. Then sit in silence, no rushing, no forcing anything. Just breathe and feel your existence. Now slowly, say Astaghfirullah. Not just with your tongue, but with your brokenness. Let it come from the weight inside you. Then, place your hand on your heart and speak to Allah like you have never spoken before. Not formal words, not perfect sentences, just truth. Ya Allah, I am tired. Ya Allah, I don't understand everything. Ya Allah, but I still believe in you. And then, recite Surah Al-Waqiah slowly, not as a routine, but as a conversation. Let every verse remind you that Allah is not unaware of your struggle, and do not rush it, because healing does not enter a rushed heart. At some point, you may feel nothing, and that is okay. And at some point, you may feel everything at once: tears, silence, heaviness, release. That is not weakness. That is the heart returning to its creator. Because real change does not happen in noise. It happens in stillness. And if you do this consistently, something will begin to shift. Not always your circumstances at first, but your reaction to them. Fear will start losing its grip. Overthinking will slow down, and your heart will begin to recognize peace again. Because the night was never meant to break you. It was meant to rebuild you. So tonight, Do not just watch this video and forget it. Try this once and see what Allah does with a heart that finally turns back to Him sincerely. Maybe you came here just to watch another video, but something inside you felt different tonight. Remember this: Allah never ignores a heart that is still trying. Even your silence, even your confusion is being seen. Surah Al-Waqiah is not just a surah of rizq. It is a reminder that your story is not finished yet. If this message touched even a small place in your heart, don't let it end here. Subscribe and stay connected, because sometimes one reminder a day can keep a heart alive. And before you sleep tonight, whisper, "Ya Allah, guide my heart.